BitBoy Crypto. The best way is... If you became a millionaire, would you keep working? You know? I want to tell you guys something. What's going on right now is California's trying to figure out about crypto. My name is Ben. We're talking balls. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto. My name is Ben. Home of the BitSquad. I really messed that up. Can we start over?
Yeah, start over.
I looked at my hair and it didn't look great, and so that's why I was confused. Welcome to BitBoy Crypto, home of the BitSquad, largest and greatest crypto community in all the interwebs. No channel works harder to keep you in the know about crypto. Someone said, "Why is Gary Gensler on the thumbnail?"
That's fine.
What?
That's not Gary Gensler.
It's not Gary Gensler. So my name is Ben. We're going to be live every single day, exactly 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is Wednesday, January 4th. Just a reminder, next Monday and Tuesday, I'll be in Las Vegas for, I'm going to the game in LA on Monday night for the Georgia Go Dogs. The guy who, did you see our Omaha Steaks?
No.
Yeah, a guy sent us Omaha Steaks.
Nice.
And so that guy is a TCU fan. He's going to be at the game, so wants to meet up. So anyways, the point is that Monday and Tuesday I'll be live streaming with Sin City Crypto from this channel, just like normal. So really looking forward to that. I love going out there and hanging out with those dudes. Those are my two favorite people in crypto, pretty much. BitBoy has been duck hunting. No, we're going duck hunting the end of next week, right? Next Friday, me and TJ are going duck hunting. So excited about that. Did you ever play the Nintendo version?
Yeah, of course. The NES, like the original.
Did you put the gun against the TV screen?
I mean, at some point in time. Yeah, anybody does.
Yeah, of course. That's the only way to do it. Go Dogs!
Like winners win, right?
Winners win. That's what they do. They find a way. Scroll back up just a little bit. A little bit more. Where is it? Something about, where do you guys say we're connected with the WEF? There it is. I seen on Instagram that BitBoy's show is supporting H-Bar and the WTF. What is he talking about?
Basically, I mean, some of those ISO 222 coins have been...
Is he saying that supporting H-Bar is supporting the WEF?
That's what he's saying, yeah.
Because I talked thoroughly about this the other day. I talked thoroughly about the WEF the other day, and it's in this video here, I think is the one that it was.
Yeah, I mean, we've done tons of videos about the Great Reset, their plan. Yeah. We are definitely not fans of the WEF.
Guys, if you want to see our viewpoint on the WEF, go to our page and type in WEF, and then this is actually our number one video of the year of 2022. You will own nothing. This is what we think about it. Here's what I will say. I defended XRP a little bit. I don't know what the just because ISO 20022 possibly compliant. I don't know.
Well, there are coins that the WF has said positive things about.
Yeah, of course. What I would say is, just because, like, we live in a world that's gray. We don't live in a black and white world. Okay, we don't live on a Burberry on the inside and black on the outside world, as someone pointed out. Don't forget to smash the like button, guys. Also, good morning, BitSquad. Number one thing you do to support crypto adoption, make sure to exit out of the live chat, hit the like button, come back in. Then, obviously, if you want people like Ed Vardis and Kenny in the chat, YouTube's got to show this to more people. So make sure that you guys do that. If you're watching on Smart TV, bottom left-hand corner of the screen, more actions, more options, hit react, and then like this video. Helps us get the stream going. So if you can make it part of your daily routine when you come in here, the very first thing you do, just do us a favor, hit the like button. That will really help things out. But the fact is, when it comes to the WEF, everything is not simply black and white. Just because someone is a partner or just because someone is a member of the WEF, I don't think that inherently makes them terrible by nature. The majority are, I'm sure. Okay, don't want to get that confused. ICP Millionaire says, everyone have a blessed day. Thank you. Yeah, we're going to check the Galactic Cruise here in just a second, Crypto Queen. So the fact is that if the WEF asks me to join, bet your bottom dollar, I'm going to say yes. They're never going to ask me because I'm going to go in there and I'm going to basically be a spy is what's going to happen in there. I'm going to try to stop what's going on. And there may be people in there that are like that. And plus, just because someone is a partner, that doesn't, if you, in the world of crypto, and this is what I talked about on that XRP video, if you want to take philosophy first, and if you want to say that I'm not going to invest in anything that has any connection to anything nefarious, you're not going to be able to invest in a single thing. If you look at the landscape of all the stuff Digital Currency Group is invested in, all the stuff that the VC companies invest in, that's everything in crypto. They're terrible people, okay? You're not going to be able to invest in anything. So the important part to me is keeping our message and our philosophy and where we stand on Great Reset and not owning anything, and to keep that first, foremost, and primary. Guys, the WEF don't need your money. They've got enough money, right? So if you invest in something that they're invested in, or a member of that is invested, I guarantee you, if you go down the entire list of the World Economic Forum, every top 100 coin, one of those people is invested in. I'm sure of it. Okay. So there you go. Lost Profit says, hey, Ben, TJ, can't say enough about the new indicator stack. Is the first paid indicator I've ever used, and it's phenomenal. I may even sign up for the courses. Well, that's good. Don't forget to check out BitLab Academy. We're going to be talking about these indicators a lot more because they're working. I'm profitable right now in my trades. I'm trying to pull my, I'm trying to export my Excel spreadsheet from BitGet so I can actually get the exact percentage here. Sup, Ben, love all the way from South Africa. Will you travel to South Africa? I don't know.
That'd be an interesting one.
That would be. That's not really been on my radar.
Brinks Nation.
Rand's down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe me and Rand could have a boxing match. Just kidding, Rand. I don't want to knock you out. No, I like Rand. Really.
You know how he seems pretty tall. Is he tall? You know, like he's got reach.
Rand?
Yeah.
I've
never met him in person.
Rand, I love you. You're a great guy. I like your channel. I like Crypto Banner. You got a great community. I don't care if he's 6'6" and he's got that reach. He has small wrists. He couldn't knock me out. Sorry about that. No offense, Rand. I mean, look, you're a great guy. I met Rand in person. I told this story before.
You seem like the type that would be like the Rocky type of fighter anyway. Like you're not going to get knocked out.
No.
You're going to just outlast until.
Yeah. I mean, I may not be able to breathe by round 7 or 8, but I think they're usually doing three rounds in some of those boxing matches.
Yeah, these days.
Yeah,
like the celebrity ones.
You want to talk about cardio? Man,
Yeah,
if you've ever actually done a fight, it's crazy. But the point here is this: is that I have seen Rand in person. I remember I met him at one time ever. It was at Bitcoin 2019. I was staying with Crypto Stash, and he came over. He was working with CNBC or MSNBC South Africa.
I have met him, I think.
Yeah, and he came up to Stash and asked him for an interview, and I'm like, all right, Rand's about to ask me for an interview. Cool. Like, he's taking Stash first because, like, I got more followers than Stash. I had, like, 8,000 subs. He had, like, 1,500, So I was, like, really big deal back then. And
he didn't ask.
He didn't ask. Stash came back, and he moved on to the next thing, and that was Rand slighting me there. He didn't know who I was.
Right.
Didn't know who I was if he did. So I don't think he's not very tall, I don't think. I don't think he's short. I think he's average height.
5'8", 5'9".
Somebody ask Rand what his height is. So, friend of the channel for sure. Ben, I have video info on Disney CEO and Kevin O'Leary and FTX. How do I get it to you? You can send that to Nick D at hitnetwork.com. One punch to the gut and Ben Caves. Guys, I almost got a 6-pack. Okay. All right. Let's go here. I'd knock you out, Ben, for 100%. There are certainly people that can knock me out. Don't get me wrong. There are people I will not fight, for sure. You know who I would not fight?
Crow?
Crypto Sanity.
Sanity, yeah.
Would not fight Crypto Sanity at all.
Nobody
even knows who he is anymore, probably.
Jason Casper would be a tough fight, probably. Pretty big dude.
Jason Cat. Well, just because somebody's big doesn't mean it'd be a tough fight.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying he seems.
Yeah. Crypto Crow was a fighter.
Right.
So I definitely don't want to fight him. Somebody can be big and I'm not saying Jason Casper is. I think he does have a rough side. I probably wouldn't want to fight him. But I'm only going to take a fight I know I'm going to win for sure. So I can take out probably 85% of y'all, I would say, at least. Maybe 90%.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Stay away from the Looney Tune t-shirts. We know that. The Tasmanian devil bandanas. Okay. All right. Here we go. Let's get started. Let's start with the cruise. That's BitGet. That's not the cruise. Okay. Here we go. So let me pull up the cruise page here. Cruise. This is, can we get ICP on the rundown every day? We're not there yet. I'll say. But I do like to talk about ICP, obviously. I did think about doing a segment every week, maybe where we cover some of our top coins. I was thinking about that. What do you guys think about that in the chat? Okay. Anthony says he used to fight. Yeah, I don't want to fight somebody that's a fighter. There's a professional at any point. I got a lot of fights in elementary school and middle school and high school. I got suspended in team sports 3 times in 1 semester for fighting when I was a sophomore. There you go. All over arguing over sports. All right, here we go. Pluto Alliance BitBoy Crypto Galactic Cruise. We're going on a cruise in April. It is Royal Caribbean, I believe. And really excited about this. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff. We've already sold, I don't know, 30 to 50 rooms, I think, somewhere in that range. So really excited about it. Now, we had our Pluto Alliance Forge for V2 where people could basically group, I'll be honest with you, I don't understand the Forge 100%, but they could group some of their V2s together. And then we're going to raffle off a cruise to 4 different planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and also Neptune. So we're going to do that right now. Now, can you put a poll up?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to do, we have our last big push for our book. We're trying to get on the bestseller list. Our numbers right now could be there. We'd like to sell probably about 1,000 more books in the next week to kind of guarantee it. We're going to do a giveaway, and we're going to promote the book through a giveaway. So I want to know, what would you like as a prize for the giveaway? What would you like for book giveaway? Okay. You want to put a question mark? Yeah, you know, I'm a stickler for grammar. Let's go with, I was thinking maybe a room on the cruise. Cruise room. Let's go with, and that would be for 2, obviously. Yeah, put that for 2. Okay. Let's go with crypto. Let's add, what else? Hardware wallet? Or what else? What else do people give away generally?
Merch.
Yeah, we'd send you a nice merch package. There we go. Yeah, put that up there and we'll see what people think. I mean, I think people will probably say crypto, but I'd like somebody to come on the cruise. We're going to have a great time on the cruise. And as everybody knows, you will get to see my nipples. It's going to be super exciting for y'all. All right, so here we go. Random.org, we're going to roll the dice. And on this dice roll, this determines how many times we are going to randomize each of these lists here. So roll the dice. And the number is 9. The number is 9. So we're going to go here first. This one is going to be Jupiter. We're going to randomize this 9 times. 1. And the one at the top is the winner, obviously. I don't feel like I had to say that. But 5, 6, 7. Man, it had to be a big number, didn't it? 8.
Yeah, no.
9. 9. There it is. You guys can see we randomized the list 9 times. The winner is 0xFCE1B7D4462EDB64CA13DEEF25DE7F5DC628D5DF. You are the winner. I'm not going to read those again. So there's the winner of that. Let's go here with this. We're going to randomize our Saturn list 9 times as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You guys can see we randomized the list 9 times. Winner 0x290B18C. There you go. You are the winner. You win a free cruise. Let's do this one again. This is Uranus. I'll never be able to say that without thinking that. All right, 9 times. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oops, that's not what I want to do. You guys can see we randomized 9 times right there. Winner 0x7B272B6. You sank my battleship. And the winner for Neptune. Now you have a 1 in 7 chance if you're in Neptune here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there you go, 0XA686FC69E. You are the winner of a cruise. So we just gave away 4 cruises. That's what we do. You saw my nipple. That is a narrow tank top that I have. That is a narrow tank top. You can actually see them right now. Okay. All right. Moving on to the coins. We don't have anybody on the show today, right?
I mean, Frankfurt charts.
Yeah. Are we talking about Bonk again today? Maybe we're covering Magic Eden. We'll talk about it. Those Bonk people are on me.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were really upset with me. So I got a lot of is it $79 a month for BitLab? No, it's $29, right? Or you might be talking about the trading suite. I don't know.
Yeah, there's different stuff in there. I think it is monthly.
Yeah. So anyways, the point is those Bonk people were really on me. I had a lot of people sending me DMs that I know and saying, definitely Sam's not behind it. It's actually like when you're longing Bonk, you're kind of shorting the Solana Foundation. It's like the outcry to the Solana Foundation and the VCs there. Those Solana people love me. I am like the #1 most engaged with Solana influencer for sure. There's no doubt about that. So I was fighting people all night. Don't even know what that means. All right, here we go. Looking at the markets. 22,181 cryptos, 536 exchanges, 821 billion in market cap. Or a lot of coins were pumping last night. 32 billion in 24 volume. Bitcoin dominance down again, 39.5%, 18.7% ETH dominance. That's up, which is interesting. And 16.5 Paraguays will send you an ETH transaction. So, and I had some people, you know what? Let me go back to Bonk. I want to talk about Bonk for one more second. I want you guys to understand, if you didn't know, we pattern a lot of our shows after what? Can you tell? Can you tell what we pattern a lot of our shows after? ESPN. We love ESPN. I love ESPN. I know y'all probably don't. Y'all like Pokemon. Do they have a EPPN? I don't know. But the point is that
G4, I guess.
G4. I don't even know what that is.
It used to be a gaming channel.
There you go. Yeah. So, on regular TV?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember. That was the Attack of the Show? Mm-hmm. Olivia Munn was on that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. I would watch it rarely when she was on.
You're a nerd. You can't get away from it.
No, it was because she was okay. I'm gonna stop.
You just buy crypto and farm, yield farm.
I hated Aaron Rodgers, and I kept wanting her to break up with him. So that's what it was. But the point is that when it comes to Bonk, right? First of all, this is not an advertisement for Bonk. I don't think I'm gonna buy it. I think I was thinking about it. Maybe I don't know. I still haven't decided 100%.
All right, we got 50% on the poll for the
52% for crypto. Okay, so we'll give away some crypto. But the fact is that, okay, so we pattern our shows after ESPN. This morning show, our researchers come in and put stuff up. First Take on ESPN is very similar to kind of what this is. It's where they come in and they give their first thoughts on the stuff on crypto. Look at that. Golly. Look, this is not our full in-depth daily research that we're doing on every single one of these topics. So a lot of what you see in the morning is me coming in and just glancing at what's going on in crypto and giving you my general opinion on what that story means. Or by the time around the blockchain comes on, a lot more evidence and a lot more facts have came out about all these stories. And we go in depth more on around the blockchain about that stuff. So that's where, like, if there's something that happens in the morning that I say that's like maybe some conjecture and it turns out not to be true, that's kind of what the point of this show is, right? Like, this is what most of you guys are doing in the morning. Some of you guys on the East Coast, I know it's around lunch, but we're giving you just general thoughts on a lot of this stuff. Now, some of these stories are more in depth. We know a lot more about, obviously. The afternoon show, like Around the Blockchain, make sure you go subscribe to it because you're getting more meat there, if that makes sense. This is for the community as well. We like engaging. This is an interactive show, the whole thing. So what happens is I come in yesterday. This Bonk, people have been talking about it, hyping it up. We're going to be doing a video on Samo here pretty soon. We're going to show connections between SBF and Samo. I know there are other coins as well that he's associated with, and they had similar marketing strategies to what is going on with Bonk right now. So to me, it did not seem out of the question, and I still would not rule it out 100%. I'd say, like, from the information I've been giving, like probably 95% plus chance he's not involved in it. But what I would say is I'm going to come in here in the morning and giving you my opinions and conjecture no matter what. It's not the same amount of research in the morning that goes in by the end of the day. So if I say something and it's totally wrong, not that it's factually incorrect, but I'm giving you some conjecture that may not be true, and I get more information in the day, I have no problem coming in and explaining today or last night Around the Blockchain what my new thoughts are after. Remember this, guys. You take in new information over a day. You take in new information over a year, and that can change your opinion. And that's one reason why I like to stir up controversy isn't the best way to say it. I do like to do that. But all of a sudden, like, I got so much information yesterday because of the way that I talked about it yesterday that I know way more about it today. And so there you go.
And it is worth noting too, Around the Blockchain has moved to its own channel. So if you want to continue to watch that, I've dropped it in the chat.
Oh, cool. There you go.
And it's pinned there. So everybody go subscribe and turn on the notifications so you see those when we're live.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. Good for that. Okay. All right. So there was my thoughts on Bonk. And there are other things that kind of fit that narrative as well that may not necessarily be 100% accurate in the morning. And it's not that we're giving you wrong facts. It's stuff that's conjecture. So I hope that makes sense.
I think Binance is listing it.
Binance is listing it?
That's what I heard. They might be in the stories here somewhere.
Oh, look at this. YOLO Cash, #1.
What the?
Please stop. Y'all
this
stop.
It's crypto.
It's crypto. Near Protocol up 20%. ETH Classic up 17%. Lido Finance up 16%. Optimism. A lot of interesting stuff with optimism.
A lot of optimism on optimism.
Yeah, a lot of optimism on optimism. So there you go. Scott Adams says the best way to learn is to be wrong in public. Yeah. Well, that's true.
Well, especially on Twitter. They'll tell you.
Especially on Twitter. Very... It's a very small percentage of time that I say something that's factually inaccurate. Very, very rare. Of course, if you take every single moment of the show, it's probably like 1 million hours of this show that we've done. I'm sure people can cherry pick and find stuff. But in general, like, I'm okay being wrong on conjecture for sure. That's part of my job as an analyst and an influencer, is to put out opinions. Jonathan Blackstone says, how do you feel about exiting projects at a loss right now to move into projects you believe in more? Projects like Solana was one I suggested people get out of a while back. Now that it's down in the $11 to $13 range, I think it still has potential to go down to somewhere between $1 and $5. But I mean, should you get out if you've lost that much money? I don't know. Somebody was explaining to me the other day about their bags in Solana. They're like, yeah, I had 5 when it was like $250, and now it's worth like $50 total. My bag is, so I'm just going to stay in it. I get that viewpoint.
Yeah.
It probably would have been a better time to get out in the 70 to 80% range and jump into something else than in the 95+% range. But I think there is some honest analysis of your crypto portfolio that needs to take place in order to decide where you want to go from here. If you think a coin I would not have in my portfolio is like Neo or I know, Dash. It didn't make a new all-time high last time. Bitcoin Cash. Those are ones I probably would move on from. If you're looking at the top 100, just kind of zooming down here, something I mean, you may want to consider getting out of exchange tokens because there could be regulation coming soon with those. Of course, Binance has held pretty well. Solana now below Tron. How about that? Uniswap maybe one. It's an exchange token as well. It's decentralized, but I don't know. That's a great question. I'm looking down here on this list and like nothing's jumping out to me that I would say, yeah, definitely bail on. If you start getting down closer to the bottom, I'm sure we could probably find some. Maybe Maker, Dash. I like IOTA, Neo right here in that range as well. So hold on. I have to let somebody into my house. Hello? Yes, you may please send Instacart in. Thank you. Every day at this time, Instacart comes to my house, apparently. That was what it was yesterday or the other day, I think, as well. My wife is not going to the grocery store in probably 5 years.
Since 2020.
Yeah. Immutable X, maybe one I would get out of. I don't like them because Kevin O'Leary's in there. Did you know the Bitcoin people hate block stacks? The maximalists hate block stacks, which I thought was interesting because it's like about bringing smart contracts and other things to Bitcoin.
Right.
But they hate it. They say it's
a token.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not Bitcoin.
But I thought, like, I don't know, maybe if it's trying to help, anyways, it is what it is.
It's crazy.
Okay. All right. So there you go. I hope that answered that question. Frank, you want to come on up? I am right now trapped in a short, and I was in profit earlier this morning, and now I'm not. So tell me what to do.
What is going on, everybody? We will try to get Ben back in profit, which the other day, by the way, the Candle Mafia was very worried when we were on the show and you were saying that you were at a loss and you were waiting to get back in profit. And they were hoping that you got back in profit, which you did. Closed.
Got out. Sometimes a 3% profit is incredible when you almost got stopped out at like a 20% loss or whatever.
Yeah. So like it's some of the biggest wins right there.
Yeah, people look at those numbers. Like people were judging me on Twitter. They're like, oh yeah, 3% gain. Great job. I'm like, yeah, it's what you didn't see with that trade is how much money I almost lost. That was the really important thing there. So I think that's something to look at. But the thing is, waiting to get back in profit only works if you are still running the same consistent stop loss. Yeah. Right? So if I didn't have a stop loss, that's a horrible strategy. Like get out and close it if you think it's going the other way. But I have a stop loss for a reason, and I'm comfortable with it hitting that number. So
yeah, absolutely. And that's sometimes the hardest part about trading is, trusting your TA and holding through that volatility. When your trade's in the red, not trying to close it early, just setting your stop loss, accepting that if you get stopped out, that is how much you're going to lose. and also having a risk management strategy so that you can actually lose multiple trades in a row and still be profitable. So guys, we got a lot of good stuff to look at on the charts today. I was actually talking to Ben a little bit earlier. It's a little hard to read right now, but you guys will know we've kind of been talking lately about how the higher time frames do look like they could be curving to the upside. I said this yesterday. You want to approach with caution because we've seen this happen many times in the bear market, and you do get a little bit of a move, but they have been pretty lackluster. But the higher time frames, there are some things that are pointing to some potential upside here. But I will say it is a little bit hard to read right now, but we are interacting with an extremely important level of resistance, now flipping into support potentially. You guys will know if you watched the show yesterday, this is the level we were watching. And if you're watching my live stream last night, I think the title was 17K incoming ? And we talked about this important level of resistance that we have to break in order to potentially make it up to that 17K level. And then basically got off the stream, almost made it up to that 17K level, but not quite. But let's go ahead and jump in here and take a look at what we got going on. Now, I do just want to start off here on the higher time frames. I'm going to go ahead and hide the TA here. We're going to pull up the BitLab trading suite. And, there are multiple things pointing to some potential upside here. But you can see we do have the significant movements starting to show some bottom signals here on the weekly. You also have your relative extrema starting to roll to the upside. Your 6-day, same thing. You have your blue waves, your relative extrema starting to roll up. But there is actually the 4-day as well, also actually just kind of showing some potential sideways there. But what I wanted to look at here is on the 2-day. Now, the 2-day is giving us that blue wave. Now, I will also kind of say here that this is not the biggest blue wave.
Yeah, it just started to.
Yeah. So typically, the higher up that these come, the stronger the bottom. But it just could be indicating a potential local bottom, right?
Can you scroll back? Can you scroll back a little bit?
Yeah.
Time-wise. No, keep it up. I need to see it, TJ.
Oh, well.
Man, we had a good run. Show's over, guys.
It died.
What happened?
There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, go back. Okay.
Oh.
I would need to see the what is that called? The bottom one with the
Significant movement.
Yeah, pull that up. I can't see that.
Oh, gotcha.
Can you just move it up? Move it up above the extrema. Oh, one more. Yep. Okay. What I'm looking at here is, what this tells me is, now the blue is for a bottom, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Looking at this, how far back does this go? Quite a while.
Yeah, this is the 2 days, so we could probably go back.
We have not had a single blue wave here that is that short.
Yeah.
It's very short, which means it's just beginning, which, if I'm understanding this correct, most likely that means to get to the real bottom, it's going to have to the price is going to go lower.
Yeah, it definitely could indicate.
I'm just trying to understand the way people should be interpreting, because just so you guys know, like, I'm learning this stuff as you are. Like, I'm actively trading with it, and I've been successful and profitable, but I'm still learning how to use them all together and looking for just little bitty things within these indicators that we can use to determine which way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it is important to also note that you could see right here, we had a pretty big blue wave. This was back in May of 2022. We did have a pretty big wave, but you could see we kind of just went sideways and then dropped off. But that's kind of where the other indicators come into play, right? Because you see, this would be indicating somewhat of a strong bottom. If you did not know that we come down after that and you were looking at this in real time, you'd think like, hey, this is a pretty big blue wave. This could be a bottom. But you come down here and you can actually see you're getting some bearish divergences here on the hidden volume. And then you also had your relative extrema coming out of your green wave here, which would indicate further downside. So this is kind of how you could use this stack and find confluence to try to avoid kind of a false signal or just knowing when an actual bottom will be legitimate. But definitely worth noting, it is a very small blue wave. However, it could indicate, in my opinion, it could indicate, maybe some sideways action. It's definitely it's definitely better than seeing a red wave on the 2-day. But we are also getting green dots on the 2 and 3-day. There was one flashing on the 4-day. But so it is just kind of pointing that we could potentially come, up, but it will take time to play out most likely. And you are also getting that bullish divergence down here on the hidden volume. So just like over here where we had the bearish divergence divergences on the hidden volume before we had this massive drop to the downside. This would be indicating obviously the opposite. So higher time frames still looking like they could roll up a little bit here in the near future, but again, being very careful. We want to understand we're in a bear market. I don't think 2023 is just going to be up only. I do think we could get maybe some movements up, but like nothing really too extreme here, at least as of right now. But moving our way back down these time frames, I do just want to show you guys, kind of zoom in on the price action a bit here and kind of just show you guys what we're dealing with here, right? Because we showed these levels yesterday and on my live stream and this morning stream, but that major level we were looking at was that point of control sitting at about $16,815. Now, this is the level, in my opinion, that stands in the way of us coming up potentially towards this value area high, coming in at about 17,160. So right now, we're at a very important level. Now, the point of control is essentially, if you don't know, the area within the analyzed range. So right now, this is a volume profile of the range that I've selected, which is basically from here to here, this little sideways range that we got going on. And in that sideways range, the POC represents the area in which the most volume was traded. And the way that translates into price action is, price likes to stick to that point of control, right? So you can see here, that's basically where we were hanging out through all the holidays with the low volume. We just kind of clung to that POC. So kind of what I'm expecting here is some potential consolidation around this point of control. But the major thing I'm watching is to see if we can hold support, because once we get above here and we start closing multiple 4-hour candles, decisively holding support above this level, that's where, if you can get some bullish confirmations, you could potentially get that move back up to this value area high. So if we are going to get a move up, that is kind of what I'm going to be looking at. Now, again, on the medium hourly time frames, like the 4-hour, you can see money flow coming up pretty nicely. Also, if you come to the BitLab trading suite, you can see we are getting a little bit of a top signal. So, and it is kind of, we also have an unshaded wave there. So this is kind of what makes me think that we could have some consolidation at this point. But with money flow coming up like that, it could indicate that if we get a crossover into the green, we could get that move to the upside. And this is kind of why I've been a little bit careful. In the premium Discord, we were in I was in an OP short, and we got it off a, bearish divergence. The setup was given in the Discord, and we did get the move down, right? But I was letting the members know, I'm being pretty careful with these shorts, and I'm treating them as scalps, locking in profits early and moving my stop loss to my entry early, just because of the way that things look on those medium time frames, especially with the higher daily time frames looking like they may want to roll to the upside. So we hit the first take profit on that one and then got stopped out. But this is why I'm being careful, because things do look like they could potentially roll to the upside. So yeah, if you don't forget, guys, today's chart section is brought to you by BitGet. This is the exchange we've been using to trade here for a few months now, and really liking it for sure. And there is a link in the chat and the description down below if you guys want to sign up and start longing or shorting the market, right? Because that's the good thing about being a trader, right? It doesn't matter. I don't really care if this bear market gets worse, right? Because we're making money on the way down, just like we make money on the way up. So, and it makes the bear market exciting and fun. I hear that from, the BitSquad and the Candle Mafia all the time. They're like, hey, you guys are showing us that, you can actually trade in a bear market, make money in a bear market, and it makes it more fun instead of just sitting on your hands and sitting on cash and just waiting for things to drop. So these are the levels I'm watching, guys. If we could make it up to this value area high in that, $17,150, $60 area, this would be a great place to look for some shorts. That is where I will be looking for some shorts. I am in a long right now, but won't be taking...
You're long in my short?
Well, it was actually a long I was in for a while, but it is it's coming back to life. But I don't like taking trades in the middle of a big range like this. I would much rather come up higher over here to short, or come all the way back down to the bottom of the range to look for some fresh longs. Another area I would look for fresh longs would be this local golden pocket at about 16,562. So these are the levels I'm watching, guys. Again, watch those medium hourly time frames. Keep an eye on those higher time frames for a potential roll to the upside. And if we can hold this level, that POC at about $16,815, this would be pretty bullish in my opinion, especially if we continue to see these other.
What time frame should we look at when we're considering that holding?
Yeah, I would look at the, if we're closing multiple 2-hour and 4-hour candles above that level, this is kind of what I like. It doesn't matter if if you're closing 5-minute candles above here, that would be, you can see here, right? You close all these, oh, wow, we're holding this as support, but this is the 5-minute chart. So, I wouldn't put as much weight on that. So I do like to come up to these medium hourly time frames, like the 2-hour, the 3-hour, the 4-hour. Once we start closing above there, with these candles, it could indicate that we are going to hold it as support. And then obviously you'd want to look at other things such as maybe the BitLab significant movement, looking for those blue waves above that POC to see if you're going to hold it. And again, I would be cautious of just some consolidation around this point of control, just because of the way the point of controls behave. You can see here, we came up. Everyone's probably thinking, oh my God, if we hold above here, we're going to rip. But you can see we kind of just danced around and then we lost it, dropped, came back, danced around. So this POC will likely act as a magnet.
Every time we've hit that POC, we've came down and we've hit the support.
Yeah.
So either it's going to completely rip or either it's going to completely dump.
Yeah, absolutely. And, that's why I look at the 4-hour candles, because you don't want to get too excited, closing lower time frame candles, because even these 4-hour candles, we were kind of hanging out here for a little bit and then you just lost it. So, but you can see also you had money flow coming out. I'm sure if you switch over to the BitLab market, BitLab significant movements, this
Volume's
was
going down.
What?
The hidden volume's going down.
Yeah, hidden volume's going down. Also, I talked about this in my market update from New York. We were expecting this consolidation around this POC because look at all of these unshaded waves on the significant movement. This indicates consolidation, and we just moved sideways right on that POC. So this is kind of how you can use, the other things other than just the levels and the price action to kind of gauge, if we were sitting above that POC holding it as support, but BitLab significant movement was giving us a bunch of unshaded waves. I wouldn't really expect it to rip or dump. I would kind of expect it to consolidate. If we started getting really big red waves, I'd expect to lose the POC. So that's kind of how you could just, look at multiple things to come to find confluence to come to a decision, right? And then also, if you're out there trading, guys, just remember, you could always have all the confluence in the world. You could have the best trade setup ever, and sometimes it just won't play out. That's the nature of the market. It's a game of probability. It's a game of capital preservation, making sure you're making more money than you're losing. And the easiest way to do that is to control your losses. So there's the level, guys. Look to hold that POC. I think that's all the time I got. Back to Ben, Bing Bonk.
Bonk. All right. Michael Payne says we need a video on using a VPN. I think that's probably, we've done a lot of those in the past. You can probably search the channel, but we can do some updated ones.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other day. You guys should always be using VPNs for privacy and data protection. Also, I noticed somebody else said they can't afford the indicators. If you go to the Academy website, I think there is a free section of the Discord. You can get in there and just get free help and training. There's also lower priced indicators that might be simpler to, not as advanced as some of the stuff we're using for lower prices. So there's things in there. Should be something for everybody.
Now, I will tell you something to think about here is that, I've said that I believe that sorry about our Spanish channel. It just wasn't, we weren't getting views on it at all. So
we might revisit that later in the year once we can automate.
It is a long term thing for us.
Way too manual and it's costing a lot of money.
So here's the thing. I've said I believe the bottom is in. Why do I say that I believe the bottom is in? Well, that's because the time frame that we should have seen the bottom has already came and went, and during that time frame, we hit a new bottom. So logically would tell you that my wife just texted me and said I'm visibly sweating. I'm going to put my jacket back on. How about that, hun? My wife told me I'm visibly sweating and I need to put my jacket back on.
It's humid out there.
Golly. Well, it's 71 degrees in here.
We got a water park going on in here.
Well, I wonder, there's so much rain in here.
That's what I'm saying, the humidity.
Yeah, the storm here was crazy over the last, overnight. But the point here is that if Genesis files bankruptcy, or if it's anticipated that they're going to file bankruptcy. I had always said that, as long as the contagion is over, I doubt we were going to see anything new. But when it comes to Genesis, I've said if Genesis fell, we would probably get a new bottom. Now, I said that about a month ago. So I'm trying to fix my jacket here. About a month ago, and I think it still stands. But here's what I could see happening, okay? I could see tomorrow we get a lot of warning signs that Genesis is going to file for bankruptcy. The price dumps on the rumor, and then it either doesn't file for bankruptcy, or once it files for bankruptcy, it's over, and people aren't speculating anymore. The price might fall a little bit more. It may even bounce. You never know with stuff like this. Because FTX was unexpected. Here's what you have to understand. Every single contagion that we have looked at before, every single piece, Terra Luna, Three Capital, Celsius, Voyager, Vault, FTX, all of these, BlockFi, they were all unexpected, came out of nowhere. This one, people are kind of anticipating. So it's just going to be a very interesting time to see what happens over the next few days with that. So I think you're seeing the charts start to, potentially reflect some of that. So, all right, moving on. Here we've got Bitcoin whales in one of the most aggressive accumulation cycles in history. What does this tell you? According to popular on-chain data aggregator Sentiment, whales have resumed buying the flagship digital currency. Stop saying the flagship digital currency, please. Bitcoin increasing their stashes frantically. Okay, so let's check out the actual tweet here. Now, y'all leave Pitboy alone. I don't like Pitboy. It's a stupid name. Stop it. All right, small to mid-sized Bitcoin addresses have been on one of the most aggressive accumulation cycles in history, adding 9% to their holdings in the last 6 months. Read about them, blah, 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 blah. Here's a picture here. You can see what they're adding here. These are 1 to 10 coins, or the yellow, 0.01 to 100. Go back to 2018. The bottom of that cycle would have been in December, so about right here.
Yeah, I mean, the green is the price, right?
What's very interesting is, the green's the price. But what's very interesting when you look here, every single time these lines touch is a significant moment.
Yeah, the 0.1 and the...
The bottom of the market. This, it actually did not touch there. Kind of touched here, and you could really say it crossed here. This is the beginning of the bull run. I mean, look at that. Boom. Then over here, right now, we're seeing it touch again towards the bottom. It basically, it's almost like pie indicator.
Mm-hmm.
Like it crosses or touches at the points of the beginning of the bull run into the bear market. So right now, it just touched. And I bet if we were to look at this date, this range lines up with when we got the bottom.
What's so fast?
Yeah, it does, because here it is right. Look at this. It touched exactly at the very bottom.
Yeah.
Very interesting. But, we're getting another touch here. So does that mean it's going to, I don't know. I think everything in me looking at the chart and understanding the 4-year cycle says the bottom is in.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean the bottom's in. But to me, I think it is. So there you go. I know old Anonymous Crypto Predictions disagrees with me. We were right on track with each other. He just has a little longer time frame for when he thinks the bottom's going to happen. We basically line up on the cycles. It's just my time frame for the bottom was different than his. So we'll be interested to see there. Were you going to say something, TJ?
No. I was something about that chart. I don't remember what it was now, but we moved on.
Can you talk for 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
Can you take over? I forgot to do something.
Flip back to that chart.
Yeah. Okay, sure. There you go. Talk for a minute.
Well, you didn't. Oh, there it goes. Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So no, what was interesting to me about this chart right here was you can see in the double top, as soon as the price started falling, and you guys can't see what I'm pointing at right here, after this year in 2022, you can see the whales aggressively accumulating, but they weren't aggressively accumulating in the first top, which is interesting. They were still, they in that bottom there, they were buying a little bit, but very, very little. So watching this indicator, watching what the whales are doing I think is a very good way to accumulate. I saw somebody in the chat saying anytime it goes below 16.7, I'm buying But really, I mean, this is one of the stronger things I've seen, making me think, yeah, you're right. I think that is what he's doing. Alex Jones is changing his shirt. But yeah, I mean, looking at these indicators, I think looks very, very strong. Let me just actually. All right, he's back. Never mind. I was going to run up there for a second, but it's kind of tough to talk about something when you can't.
Can you zoom out?
When you can't point at it.
Can you zoom out?
Oh my god! What is that?
What do you mean?
Oh my god!
What? This is just a shirt in my closet I had. I forgot to put this on in the beginning of the show.
Where did that come from?
Okay, so I have one for you as well that has my face on it.
That's pretty hilarious.
So, when I was out with Sin City Crypto,
There's the savvy.
there's Savvy. Bottom will be in September, October of the year 3500. Cool. 3545, what he thinks it's going to be. When I was out there with Sin City Crypto last time, I mentioned to Rocco, who's their producer. You know, they all three met at one of my meetups.
No, I didn't. In the Vegas one?
Yeah.
One of the first ones you did? That's crazy.
Yep, that's how they met. And Rocco's their producer now. He's really cool. And I said something, I can't remember what it was. I think David had a shirt with his own face on it, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And I said, man, I would love to get a shirt with TJ's face on it. And they made these for us and sent them out here.
We got to get that in the merch store.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, my gosh. If sales of the TJ shirt are better than the sales of the BitBoy shirt, though, I'll be really angry.
Yeah, that's the whole.
So shout out to Sin City Crypto. We love those guys.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I knew you would like it. Bitcoin breaks 7-year record in inflows. What does this mean? That's interesting. That does preclude a dump usually. On-chain data suggests that the current Bitcoin exchange inflows having a historically low patch. Oh, low patch. 7-year record. It's a low record. Interesting. So people are not sending into exchanges. Going by the numbers in the last 2 weeks, however, Bitcoin inflows edge higher and break the trend. It means the way it continues, yada, yada, yada. Also, a look at the current Bitcoin market value to realized value ratio, says ration, indicates the crypto is in a potential bottom territory. Once again, everything we're seeing says potential bottom. Man, if we nailed this bottom, whew, man, there's nothing better. I mean, take it from this guy. There's nothing better than nailing the bottom. I like how you crack the jokes, but in reality, I've been correct. Crypto Savvy, you have been correct, but so have I. This is what I've been trying to tell you. There will be a divergence where one of us will be correct and one of us will be incorrect. I've lined up to this point with everything. I just think that was the bottom. And until we make a new lower low, that now if it goes to 14 and bounces back up, I mean, whatever. But if it makes a much lower low and stays down there, then we'll have to start looking a little more seriously at your theory. So as of right now, I will buy TJ shirts daily.
Thanks, William.
Thank you, William. As of right now, our track lines are on the same pace. So if you go back to, like when the lengthening cycle theory was a thing, once again, everybody crushed me when I said the bull run should be over at this point, and it wasn't over. In reality, it was over. I just didn't realize the number. But the lengthening cycle theory, everybody's like, see, it's right. See, it's right. But it wasn't right. It wasn't right either. And actually, I was correct because it did not go up further after that. So I think that you have the same thing here with Crypto Savvy as internet.com bubble crash. When he said he thought Bitcoin could go down below 10K, I said, I agree. Yeah, it could have. I don't think it will now, but it could have, and he still could be correct. But that's where our theories right now, over the next 3 months, this is where we're going to see who's correct and who's not. Derek Scott says, hey, I still like the GTR more. Oh, Derek was up here.
Oh, yeah.
Love you too, Ben. By the way, I'd buy that shirt. Okay. Yeah, Derek, if you guys ever want to come take a tour, you guys can, especially if you're local, you can send an email to info@hidnetwork.com. We can't honor every single request. We try to get a lot of people in here. We usually have a few people in here a week. So over $8 trillion worth of transactions made on the Bitcoin blockchain in 2022. Despite depressed prices, staggering $8.2 trillion was transferred via the Bitcoin blockchain over the past year. Figure works out to an average of $260,000 per second. So there you go. A lot of movement here. A lot of movement. $8 trillion. Fed meeting minutes may point to rate hike in-game new debate phase. Oh, this is fascinating for what we're seeing right now. Let's see here.
What?
Are you, TJ?
No, definitely not.
Is it because you like chocolates?
Not related to Tom Hanks.
You like the shirt?
Yeah.
Your dad likes the shirt. Yeah. Okay. Wait till I make you wear mine.
Is what color is it?
It's the same. It looks the
Same?
exact same. It's
Okay.
just different. It's
Okay.
just my face instead of yours. So, the Federal Reserve ended 2022 with a firm promise at its December policy meeting that interest rates will continue rising this year, but at a slower pace and perhaps only to another 0.75 of a percentage point. The overall tone of the minutes is still likely to show inflation, has top billing among policymakers been slowing for several months, still raising at a 5.5% annual rate. That's the personal consumption expenditures price index, more than twice the central bank's 2% target. FOMC seems united on getting policy above 5%, but it's quite split on an exit strategy. And I tell you, like what I'm reading here, it lines up with what Michael Burry was saying, that they're already starting to maybe position themselves. Yeah, we love for you to come crypto savvy. They're positioning themselves already maybe to reverse course here. And we're seeing the inflation numbers come by. Michael Burry thinks, and now that I watched that movie, I give him a little more credibility on the stuff that he says. Get ready. Now, he's not going to be right on everything, so don't bank on people like that. Even if they're correct 5 times in a row, it doesn't mean they're going to be correct 6. So.
Well, and he's predicted a lot of crashes that haven't happened as well. But he's got. Oh yeah, yeah. He's one of those like notorious, But again, it's a timeline. Just like he was predicting that collapse for years before anybody believed him, and then eventually it happened. And then he was right, made billions of dollars. You don't have to be right all the time.
John Red says Ben did call it 2018 bottom before anyone in crypto. That is true. When we had the 2018 bottom, within 2 weeks, I said that was the bottom, and we're not going to see a lower low. I got a little nervous on March 12th, the day of the pandemic crash, but we did. It's just when you study the cycles, you really understand what this is. So, are you aggressively accumulating or slowly accumulating? We're slowly accumulating. We're not doing anything aggressive right now. I'm going to basically. My plan for accumulation is trade and get $1 zillion in my account and then go buy a bunch of crypto with it. That'd be my move. What should we do? What do you think we should do for like a trading challenge? Like, remember we did.
I'm working on one with AJ right now. Ultimate Trading Challenge.
No, for me on the show, just me. It's not part of that show. That's a show,
right?
No. This is for me.
Oh,
like remember we turned. Yeah. So last year we turned 100,000. No, we turned 80,000 into $1 million, but we didn't set out to do that. We were just like, we just started trading with 80K, and that's what it ended up at. Then we went from 1,000 to 10,000.
And 10 to 100.
Then we went from 10 to 100, and then we were going to go 100 to $1 million, and I got liquidated and lost it all.
Right. And that was in 21, not last year.
Right. Yeah. Correct. Yeah. So I've got almost 1 Bitcoin in the account right now. Should I try to do like 1 Bitcoin to 10 Bitcoin?
I was about to say 1 to 10 Bitcoin challenge.
Okay, let's do that. We're going to take almost a Bitcoin, and we're going to turn it into 10 Bitcoin. That's going to be the goal. What kind of time frame do we want to do that in? 90 days? Is that possible? I think it's possible.
No, I think you should. I don't know. It depends on. I mean, if you wanted, like, if we're trying to show people how to do it themselves, you should probably set out, like, if you can accumulate it over the course of this year, that's.
My leverage is too high.
I know. And that's, so. I
think it's just right, but for most people, it's too high.
We don't want people going super aggressive trying to make 10 Bitcoin in 30 days.
Yeah.
I mean, you can definitely do it, but we'll give it.
Well, the cool thing is we have the BitGet copy trading. So what people can do if they want to follow along with what we're doing with the challenge, understanding like, hey, I'm not responsible. It's your financial decision to do that. And I'm not ready to do it yet because I want to show a little more consistently profit. I think I'm like 9 out of my last 12 trades successful. Mm-hmm. But I had 2 of those that were decent losses that had stop loss. So I'm not extremely profitable like I would have if I didn't have those 2 trades. But BitGet has copy trading where these trades will automatically go into your move. And then you're also using my stop losses.
Yeah. I think we should do it kind of like we did before where we say like, hey, let's go 1 to 10. If we get there really fast, then we'll up it from 10 to 100.
Okay. All right. Nicholas Belding says, been following since 2020, even after losing plenty of money just like everybody else. I'm in a better place than I've ever been. Amen for that. Thank you for your content. God bless. Meetup in we do lots of meets up on crypto Twitter.
Connecticut.
Twitter Spaces. Oh, Connect I cut. I'm not sure about Connecticut. We are coming to New York.
I was gonna say, if we go to New York enough, you could, yeah.
I think me and my wife are gonna stay for that weekend and probably turn it into a thing because we're not going to London now. We're gonna go to London later in the year. Kurt says, how's my dad doing? My dad's doing great. He got good test results this week, so really happy about that. He's doing great. Get ready for a slowdown recession in 2023. Many CEOs, investors are worried about a recession. Moody's Analytics now says it's more like a slow session where growth grinds to a near halt, but a full economic downturn is narrowly avoided. I think that's what we're going to get, actually, but I still would consider that a recession. I think we're going to get that because I think Michael Burry's going to be right. I think they are, by the end of this year, going to turn that back in, turn the money printer back on. I think if the inflation goes, it's just the harshness of the language last year was too much, and I think they're going to backtrack. So I thought they'd turn the printer back on Q1 of 2024. We might see it turn on Q4 of 2023. Ben, have you ever seen the Bollinger Bands that tight on Bitcoin Daily? Might pump either way during the show. Let's see. I don't think I've got the indicator pulled up, but I'm not really a super Bollinger Band guy. That's not something I personally look at. But we'll see if it goes way up or way down. That would be really interesting because I do have a trade. It's on the way up right now. It's up about $30 in the last few minutes. So, Ben, if you love me, you'll make a short on your day trading style, like your stop loss strategy, your favorite charts. We're doing more trading content on the channel, so thank you for the super chat. We'll get to that stuff.
Yeah, we'll clip those and turn them into shorts. Yeah.
Okay, there we go. 100 crypto lobbyists prepare for the fight of their lives as Congress resumes. Can you come to New Jersey? We are coming to New York, so come check us out in New York City and Philadelphia as well. So Philadelphia is close there. Thank you for the super chats. Cryptocurrencies will be a hot topic as the U.S. Congress resumes. Man, so many super chats today.
Golly, I know.
I can't even do the show. But it's okay. Scotty Barnes, hey guys, 3 years of hodler, currently 6 months into a year-long DCA. Bored in the bear market, want to learn about trading. Is there a course for swing trading beginners in the BitLab? Frankie's paid Discord better. Thanks. I would say Frankie's Discord is something to definitely go check out.
Yeah.
We're developing a lot more of that in the BitLab over the next 6 months.
The BitLab Discord, though, has a lot of really active traders in it too.
It does as well.
And they will teach you how to use the indicators. And I would say
they're both
are very solid if you want to learn how to trade.
Okay. Let's see. Battle line drawn between lawmakers and against the fledgling financial industry. Ron Hammond tweeted this, and then Brad Garlinghouse commented on it. This weekend, Congress and crypto. The first day of the 118th Congress has arrived. It's no secret. The crypto industry is in the crosshairs of Congress after the FTX fallout. FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried has gone from political donation darling to public enemy number one on Capitol Hill. And so just kind of an update on our bill is we are kind of shopping our bill around to some different politicians right now, some more politicians than we already have, looking to tweak some of the language to get it where it needs to be. Near Protocol video is coming out this week. So there you go, Teddy. Or Roosevelt Taylor, that is. So the point is, we're not as in a big of a rush right now, and we're registered, but we're tweaking some of the language before we make it public. So Ryan told me last week 30 to 60 days on that. I know, I'm really ready to move on this thing. It's driving me crazy, but we want to do it the right way. Here's the big thing that's up in the air. Well, number one, SBF, there's no rush for crypto regulation right now. 2 years is what we're going to see of crypto regulation, I believe. It's the only thing that's bipartisan that Congress can agree on, right? Or Congress and Senate can agree on, or the House and the Senate can agree on. So I don't think there's a super big rush. Any bill you see that comes out is going to be a long tail. We're not going to see anything done in the first month or two because they're still going to be investigating FTX. But I just want to say all that because the biggest thing right now that's going on in Congress is the Speaker of the House for the Republicans. So we have ends, I believe, with McCarthy and McHenry. I think McHenry is the number one candidate. So either one of those guys that ends up as Speaker, it will not be, it'll be good for us in our bill. But we'll have to see what happens if it somehow is someone else. I'm not 100% sure. We have ends with most politicians. So, and by ends, I don't mean like, we're bribing or anything like that or giving them money. I just mean we have connections. I've got
a line to.
I have a lobbying company that I work with. It's got connections to everybody, basically. So
lines of communication, really, is what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I don't know what's going to happen with that speaker thing because McCarthy was involved in some of the FTX stuff and it looked kind of bad. I don't know exactly what the deal is with all that. I know we've talked about it on the channel before. McHenry has been very vocal about pro crypto and pro Bitcoin specifically. Anyways, we'll just have to see what happens. I don't know what's going to happen. They voted 3 times. McCarthy didn't get it. I don't understand how that whole process works. That's not my, where I'm at in politics, but it is what it is. Let's see. Yeah, here it is. Split between pro crypto chair of House Financial Services, Patrick McHenry, and anti-crypto chair, Sherrod Brown, who took the measure of saying he wanted to ban crypto. A group that formerly numbered less than a dozen people from CoinCenter, Coinbase, and Blockchain Association, and a few other groups, has now become a network of 100% policy experts, or 100 plus policy experts, which is reason for optimism. So I think we're getting good crypto regulation this year, guys. I don't think it's going to be bad. That's what I'll say. Because here's the thing. they don't want anything Sam pushed for. Sam pushed for all the bad stuff.
Right.
So it's really been good for us. They're voting right now. I wonder if we can see that live. House Speaker vote. Let's see if they have it live. I wonder if they have like where you can, it has a tracker on there. This has live updates. In the fourth round, there's another opponent now. Texas Representative Chip Roy nominated Byron Donalds. We do see, it doesn't matter if he loses more votes. McCarthy, Gallagher, in nomination of McCarthy. Okay, that's not super great. I want to see if they've got a place that actually shows the votes. This is the last one. We'll click on and look. Oh, this is Byron Donalds. Hey, I like Byron Donalds. He looks like the kind of guy I could work with. He look at that the line job on that. That's freaking phenomenal. I've always wished I could get my beard that lined up. Okay, so there we go. All right, well, we'll try to keep track of this because it is important to what's going on in crypto. Bankman-Fried asked co-signers a $250 million bond to remain anonymous. The judge agreed, by the way. Lake, I'm sorry, I probably will not be joining the Dogecoin army. I wouldn't rule it out 100%, but I would 99% rule it out.
You got Matt Wallace for that.
Yeah, and Matt Wallace, he's a local Georgia guy. Atlanta guy. He's living in a different country now, I believe. But Reverend Flashback wanted to look into Sushi and Chef Nambi. That sounds like a good video. I like that. We'll do that. Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyers asked for identities of two guarantors of his $250 million bond or dollar bond not to be acknowledged. I want to know who these are.
I do too.
I think I can find out too. I think I can find out if y'all give me a few days on this. White House says SPF meetings concerned pandemic prevention, not just crypto. What do you think about that?
I saw that. I retweeted the clip from the White House where they were saying it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make, and that's all at the comments saying, okay, so somebody that doesn't have any medical background was consulting you on, pandemic prevention. It just doesn't.
Can you put a poll up? Is pandemic prevention philanthropy? That's what I want to know from I already know this is going to be probably 85%. I got one more poll I want to do at the end of the show too. They said it's pumping. Don't hit my stop loss. Oh, God. It went within $3 of my stop loss again. Let's see what. Oh, man. Now I'm watching this chart. Oh, no. Stop. Go down. Okay. What do you think about running a infinite, what did I say? Infinite grid bot on XRP long term? I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, he said that like 4 times.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not sure what infinite grid bot is. Okay. Yeah, I told you to be about 85%. Oh, no. It went down to 72%.
It'll bounce around.
Yeah, I'll bounce around. Okay. Feds launch FTX task force to recover victim assets. Continue probes. Bankman-Fried pleads not guilty. The announcement came as FTX founder and former CEO Sam Bankman-Fried appeared in U.S. District Court in Manhattan. His criminal case where he's charged with multiple counts, financial fraud, and campaign finance crimes. Wow, a lot more people say yes than I thought here. Williams top deputy Andrew Griswold is leading the task force. Our UK's got a new task force as well, looking into crypto, but we have an FTX task force, so how about that? Guys, in my clip for my video last night, what are they all talking about? What are they, CZ tweet burn? What are they talking about? Do you know? I'll pull that up in a second, see what he said. But our clip from our video last night where I'm talking about the conflict of interest between brother Peter Maynard, who is the lawyer for FTX, and Sam's lawyer, that is Allison Maynard, their brother and sister. That clip in the Bahamas is going viral right now. Lincoln sent it to me, so they're sharing it everywhere down there. So those Bahamian people, they freaking hate the corruption in their government, and they're very passionate about it, which is very good. I wish people here were a little more passionate about the corruption angle.
Oh, nothing. They're okay. It's just, I think it's probably a token burn, like BNB burn. That's probably why
that you pulled it up.
Yeah, he just said.
Oh, they do it every quarter.
Did someone say burn? Question mark. And so and BNB pumps. I'm sure it was on the burn. That makes sense.
There you go. All right, man. Now I'm paying attention to this here, man. Oh man, that's going to be a big hit if I lose that trade. We'll see what happens though. It's okay. I will say the trading action has been very strange the last 4 days. The last 4 days, things have been really like almost 50-50. Okay, crypto VC funding down by 82.5%, lowest in 2 years. Crypto startups raised $660 million of VC funding in December of 2022, down 21.5%. Down 82.5% for the last 2 years. Global venture capital funding in November was $22 billion, down 69% from $70 billion in November. And I can tell you, we were looking at a lot of different possible investors for the NFT platform that we're a part of, and the crash happened, and we were like, yeah, we don't even think we really need the money, so we're just like bootstrapping the whole thing. But I can tell you, I had a lot of interesting conversations with VC folks, and they're not spending money this year, really. Probably Q2 next year is when I think they'll start piling back in. But the fascinating things, I talked to one guy from a large company. I'm not going to say who it is. This is not a bad actor, this company. So it's not Andreessen or, any of these, well, I mean, you would have said Three Arrows Capital was a bad actor too, probably, in terms of what they were doing with their money. Now, they're a victim now, so it's a little bit different. But this guy told me, he said, man, I tell you what, we invested in so many projects I wish we wouldn't have invested in. That kicking themselves for a lot of decisions that they made for, just everybody believes their thing is the next greatest. And then when the money goes down and they hadn't really built infrastructure or community, you lose everything. And so I think in this next cycle, you're going to see VCs be a little tougher on valuations and a little tougher on who they're putting money in. So, okay. Solana's largest NFT marketplace, Magic Eden, recently found itself in a bizarre situation after the platform displayed pornographic images and stills from the award-winning comedy series, Big Bang Theory.
It was the metadata got swapped. I mean, it shows, it's on a set of NFTs basically where you had your collection and you go to look at it and all of a sudden it wasn't your collection anymore.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about with some Filecoin stuff. We were talking about we're doing a Filecoin video. But my question is, that's not a pornographic show.
Yeah, it must have been
I see. Displayed pornographic images and stills from the award-winning comedy The Big Bang Theory.
Right.
Oh, but Big Bang Theory probably, there's probably a connection there. Bang,
right.
You guys understand what I'm saying. Okay. Magic Eden explained a hard refresh for accessing the platform would fix the issue. Glitch appears to be fixed in press time. So there you go. Feel bad for Magic Eden. Feel bad for a lot of those NFT or a lot of those platforms were built on Solana. Obviously, one of the platform or one of the projects Vumio is launching with is Solana. But there's still some projects over there that think they're going to make it. We'll see what happens. Founder of Goobers NFT completely broke after gambling away life savings. The name of the project is Goobers. Maybe that was your first clue. I don't know. Call me crazy. Because this guy certainly is a goob. Twitch streamer and Goobers NFT founder DNP3 confessed in a twit longer. He's now completely broke after gambling everything away on stake. I actually read this last night. KlueCoin is down over 70%. Guys, if you're going to be a degen, be a degen. So, guys, Vimeo, it's not Vimeo, it's Vumio. I'm not mistaken about Solana, guys. I've tried to convince people to get out of it. If you're down so much right now, I don't really know what the point is, but if you're building, I would look to build on other platforms. There's a lot of propaganda coming out from Solana community, and some of these people, this is their lifeblood, and I get it. They're fighting to hold on to it, but it's not an ETH killer. It's not going to be a tier 1 blockchain. The vitriol towards SAM that's associated with Solana is too much. People will always associate Solana with FTX. They'll always associate SAM with Solana. And it's going to be impossible for them to, I think, separate. The two largest NFT projects moved. So, I mean, that makes room for some more. You got your bonk that seems to be whatever it's doing. I don't even know if it's up or down, but it's whatever. So we'll see what they can do. But I think holding on to a meme coin for hype and a pump is about the best thing you're going to see over there in the coming future. So the Solana people will tell you everything's great. This is, let's see here. This is the Solana community. Everyone sees this but them. And I know it's sad, guys. I've been married to bags before, for sure. I don't do it anymore. I was married to my Tron bag for a long time. You get married to them and you just don't want to quit. You don't want to give it up. So I understand what it's like. Everyone in crypto sees this. Everyone in crypto understands this with Solana, except for the people that are in it. I guess kind of like if you're so close to the coffee, you can't see the fire. So we'll see what happens. I don't think there's any way. If Solana makes a new high in the next bull run, I will get a Solana tattoo.
Oh,
yeah. I almost tweeted it last night. I thought about it.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get a Solana tattoo if it makes a new all-time high in the bull run. There we go. And I'm a man of my word. Now, I did not eat a shoe. That was one thing I said I would do. But I paid CryptoFace $10,000 when our Bitcoin bet when it didn't hit 100K by the end of the year. Zach XBT, I gave him $10,000. So I honor this stuff for sure. So there you go. Carl and I have a bet over Bitcoin hitting $1 million. He says it will. I said it won't in the next 4 years. It was 5 years a year ago. But there you go.
How much Bitcoin was it? One? Or was it
one
five?
Bitcoin?
Okay.
It's one Bitcoin. Ben, who did you say may file bankruptcy tomorrow? I mean, the world on streets, possibly Genesis Trading. So there we go. Man, probably shouldn't have said that.
Why?
I don't know. I guess it's fine. I guess I'll get a Solana tattoo. It's fine.
Oh, that, yeah. No, I mean, I don't think.
I think the chances are small.
But yeah, I don't. Yeah, the odds that it hits new all-time high are.
It cannot be a scam wick.
Yeah.
It can't be a scam wick on one exchange where somebody tries to ruin me and scam wicks it up there if it gets up relatively close. It's got to close. It's got to close at a new all-time high. Fair. Is that a fair agreement, Solana people? If it closes at a new all-time high on the daily, I will get a Solana tattoo. So there you go. This is so dumb. Solana's going to rock it. What? I just don't. I can't get inside the mindset of the Solana person. Can you?
No, like I could understand like if you're getting in at the absolute, like if you're buying it at $10, hoping it might go back up to 50, that's one thing. But if you're thinking it's going to go to $500, I just haven't seen it. I mean, you probably haven't been looking at and assessing blockchains very long, is what I would say.
Here's the thing. If y'all remember correctly, I told you even before we knew everything about FTX, it was going to be really hard for Solana to make a new all-time high. And that was when it was at $30. The top performers of the bull runs usually do not match their performance. So it was going to be tough for Solana to make a new all-time high. If you go to the top projects in 2017, NIM, these were top projects, guys. NIM, Litecoin, Neo, what's Dash? These were all top. These were top 10 projects. None of them made new all-time highs. XRP, we know why, but XRP did not make a new all-time high. The only top 10 projects,
Bitcoin Cash.
Yep. Bitcoin Cash will never make a new all-time high because of how it was launched. But the fact here is if you look at the top 10 from 2017, Cardano made new all-time highs. Obviously, Bitcoin made new all-time highs. Ethereum made new all-time highs. There might have been some sprinkled in there that maybe I missed, but the majority didn't. So read into that. EOS wasn't launched in 2017, though. It didn't launch until 2018. Correct. So stop funding Dash. I'm not trying to fund Dash. I like Dash. I like the people that work at Dash. It just didn't make a new all-time high. It was top 10.
I think Dash's best hope at this point is favorable, like landing in a favorable bucket after regulation.
Yeah,
commodity wise and something. But
I think it's going to have issues with that because of the way that it was launched and the rebrands, and they do have a foundation. They say they're not a privacy coin. Like there's some stuff, but if you dig into how it was launched, it's definitely I don't know. I'm just saying I don't think that's an easy slam dunk. It rebranded like 3 times. Start off as I think Bitcoin Dark. Or Dark Coin. Then it rebranded, I think, to Xcoin. Then it went to Dash as a privacy coin. Now they've rebranded from a privacy coin. But if you look at the early days of how it was launched, it was very, very, very sketchy. That we could do a whole video on that. I don't know if people would watch it, but it is super interesting. I request, go back over there, up a little bit. I request a TJ shirt on during getting the tattoo. By the way, this will never happen. All right, Coinbase fined $50 million for lax anti-money laundering measures. Let's see here. Half of the settlement will go to paying a $50 million fine. This is a settlement with the New York Department of Financial Services, who they have the BIT license through. They determined Coinbase allowed bad actors to use its platform and launder money. In addition to the first independent monitor, Coinbase was ordered to hire a second independent company for its compliance program. If you get a Solana tat, we pick the place from waist up. Keep it civil. I'm not getting a tattoo in a weird place. I'll tell you all that. Okay. All right. You know, I was looking last night. I got into an argument with a guy on Twitter, Solana guy, believe it or not. You just really tell the difference between people that were not in crypto and are new and are trying to defend Solana. They said, well, TJ, when did Cardano launch?
I don't even remember. I mean,
you don't know,
like the exact date.
Not the date, but the time range.
End of 2017, early 2018.
Yeah, end of 2017. I think it was October. Let's get the actual date here. Cardano. Let's go to the all.
Yeah, Q4 2017.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been the end of Q3, maybe. Nope, October, Q4. 10-1. It launched on October 1st, 2017. That was when the coin launched. You can go back in the foundation, was created in 2015. I found my first ever Solana newsletter that I received May 2nd, 2018. Yeah, we love, keep that. Okay.
Yeah.
May 2nd, 2018. And they were already run transactions on their blockchain. And this guy tried to tell me that Solana launched in 2021 and Cardano it launched in 2015. So it's had 2 full bull runs and that's not reality, guys. You know, you get it. It's funny when people try to defend stuff. And you know what they do? They Google and they try to go get the exact right answer according to Google. But the reality is something totally different. When you were there, you know, Cardano launched in October 2017. That was when it was launched.
Right.
Solana did not launch in 2021. They may have moved to they never moved to a mainnet, I don't think. They may have moved to whatever higher net than what they were than the test net. But I don't know when it was first purchasable, but the chain was running for a long time. The chain was, I remember that I almost was in the ICO for that. I think there was an ICO, correct? For Solana?
For Solana?
Look that up. Do you have hopes for VeChain next bull run? Yeah, I think it'll do well. I do. Back in June of 2019, Solana tried to get me to be one of their influencers. They wanted me to run a node on their network. That's pretty funny, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I said no. All right. What's it? Are you looking it up?
Yes, the campaign initial coin offering was held on token distribution.
Beginning of
coin
2018.
List, ICO price 22 cents. Where's the date?
22 cents. Wow. I mean, that had to be probably March 2018, yep. I believe.
No, March 24th, 2020. Token sales started April 2018 and lasted until March 2020.
There you go.
So they were selling.
Started in April. My first email was in May from them. So there you go. Their sales started in 2018, guys.
And it continued all the way through March 2020.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
But you could own Solana in 2019.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could buy it and hold it and trade it.
Yeah. I bought it in 2019.
Yeah. Thank you. So it's just a lot. Guys, when you don't know the history of your own coin, you need to do some more research. That gives me confidence that you're not capable of making great decisions, whether or not Solana is a good investment or not. If you don't even know the history of your coin, and this is the community you're sold out for, I just really encourage a lot of these people that came in 2020 and 2021 and 2022, if anybody came in 2022, and you're sold out for a community, you need to know every single thing about that project to make a good decision. If something happens to your coin, like happened to Solana and FTX, you need to be able to make an informed decision whether to stay in or stay out. So what were the super chats?
I grabbed them for Q&A.
Okay. All right, moving on. We got to fly through the rest here. Yeah. Let's see here. This is fine. Blah, 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 blah. A crypto payments company Wire reportedly shutting down due to market downturn. That's interesting. Do you remember the big thing with Wire and Crypto.com?
Wire is one of those payment or the back end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had like a bunch of fraud. They had a bunch of fraud, and it bled over to Crypto.com at the time. Crypto.com didn't have anything to do with it, but they were one of their main people. XRP Army, hey, have y'all ever seen TJ? There he is. TJ's throwing up the XRP.
I don't know.
Crypto attorney offers perspective on settlement in light of him in emails. In response to a tweet, crypto law founder and blockchain enthusiast John Deaton revised his belief that a settlement in the Ripple SEC lawsuit might be unlikely due to him in emails. I haven't, let's see. So this is from Select Start Crypto. He says, I don't think they become more pessimistic. We're just down to the wire on this thing. Also, more time allowed for us to see how the parties progress through this case. I haven't become more pessimistic, just giving my honest opinion, which may be proven wrong. I do not believe the judge grants summary judgment in favor of the SEC in the way the SEC is requesting. I just believe if the case was going to settle because of emails, it would have already. So, according to him, Judge Torres has implied that him and emails, drafts, and comments are relevant only for purposes of cross-examination or impeachment. I don't believe they're as damaging as people, including me, once believed. So, very interesting. If they were, I believe the case would have been settled by now and the emails wouldn't have been turned over to Ripple. I just think the SEC is cocky. That's what I think. According to Deaton, a settlement could happen for any reason other than the Hinman emails. In earlier tweets, he opined. The only other reason for Gensler to settle is to avoid a ruling setting a bad precedent for the SEC as it goes against other tokens. But to be honest, I just don't think he's too worried about that. Once again, too cocky. There's been a push for CFTC to oversee crypto, so Gensler may roll the dice. So there you go. Very interesting stuff on that. XRP buyback not possible, says Ripple executive. A new wave of discussion about government buyback of XRP tokens emerged a few days after Val Hill Capital's managing director, Jimmy Valley, spoke in an interview discussing what XRP might be worth now if not for the SEC's prosecution. He once again suggested the cryptocurrency could be bought back if the regulator is defeated in court. And now what I would say here is I'm on the, do you know I'm on this committee?
I did not.
I am on the buyback committee for that Val Hill Capital's put together. I am on that. And they did a meetup. I wasn't able to go. There's, I think, 30 to 50 people that are on it. Maybe I'm way wrong. Maybe it's much less than that. But I will say I'm on the committee. If it happens, I generally don't think we're going to see a buyback in any form. I think the most likely case for a buyback would be if Ripple were to lose the case completely against the SEC, and the SEC might run some type of buyback for the people that have those tokens because investor protection, right? They would make Ripple pay that. So I think that's a little more likely, but hey, I'm here to help if it does happen. I'm here to help. That XRP community, I'm here to help.
Did we hit the Coinbase story?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Somebody just asked about it.
Yeah, basically what it said is they $50 million fine, or
$250 million.
$250 million fines for loose anti-money laundering, which if you've been on Coinbase in the last year, they're really tightening up their KYC. I mean, that's obviously...
That's what they call...
That's why I closed my Coinbase account.
That's the tax. You know, that's tax to doing business. If you're... it's basically just the government saying, like, all right, we're going to make you pay to play. You know.
He noted, however, that even if a buyback of XRP were to occur, the price could not be considered fair value because the second is formed solely by market laws, commenting on the possibility the buyback would happen to make XRP the new government currency. Hamilton also questioned what prevents the government from simply buying the tokens from the market. Yeah, I don't know. That's very interesting.
Coin up 15% today.
What is?
Coin. It's Coinbase stock.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. I know Kathy Wood bought a ton. I might,
Go down, Bitcoin.
It's not looking good.
I mean, no, I think it's fine, actually. I think that's a pretty solid rejection off 922. And my order was, my stop loss was at...
above that.
So, yeah, that's what I really want to be careful about is showing my stop loss. I think I already mentioned what it was, but that's what I got to be careful about. Because what can happen is people can counter trade me intentionally, whales, to try to make me look bad, which that's a real thing that happens. People in Discord know. There's plenty of Discord chats where they talk about stuff like that. But that would actually hurt my people that were copy trading me. So that's what I've got to work on some of that, figuring out exactly how we're going to do it. So. Celsius court update as of January 4th. Let's see. They asked the lender to return deposits, specific customers whose funds were not mixed with other assets. Things stand. Company consultant testified before the court that if Celsius granted a chance to sell $18 million worth of stablecoins, if business operations will continue for another month. If not, they'll be exhausted by the end of March. Artifact COO loses NFTs worth $170K to a phishing attack. That sucks. Yuga Labs NFT royalty income hits $107.8 million in 2022. Could be some integration with Yuga Labs and ApeCoin, possibly with Vumio. So stay on the lookout for that. Just having some conversations. Nothing 100% yet, but I think there are some things that we might be able to do there. BitGet introduces MegaSwap for multi-chain DeFi trading experience with security. So there you go. You want to check that more out. You can find that on AMB Crypto. Indians moved over 3.8 billion to foreign exchanges since crypto tax rules. Wow, that's really fascinating. Yeah, that's pretty fascinating. So, Taiwan goes all in on crypto despite the global crash. Taipei Blockchain Week was full of boundless optimism. So there you go, Taiwan. They love Taiwan and Thailand, two countries I've never been to because I like my countries to win or lose. YOLO Baggins. Q&A, have you researched XDC and their connections? We sure have. We've put out a video on it. You can search the channel and find it. I am bullish on XDC. I do like it as a project. What DL Super Chat? What projects you are investing in this month? We did go pretty hard in Algorand for our portfolio video because it's down so much. I think it's going to have a massive bounce back at some point. Not soon, but I think it will. Mattman super chat. Do you have hopes for VeChain next bull run? I already answered that. Yes, absolutely. Rice with a Q&A. How will Chainlink do this bull run? I think Chainlink will do well, but it's hard. It's like all the marketing for Chainlink has gone away, and it's very fascinating. And I'm not sure why. What was that last one?
Oh, I thought you did it.
I didn't do the last one. Will ETH running to much higher highs pull Link to $100 plus? I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah, I think Chainlink is a strong project that's going to be around for a while.
I agree with that.
But I don't.
Price speculation, I'm not sure.
Exactly. I'm the same boat.
And I don't want to see it go to this world where it's not really. I want to know where the Link Marines have gone. That's what I want to know. Where are the Link Marines? They're gone. They've disappeared. They were one of the strongest communities in probably the strongest community in crypto, and I don't see them anywhere. So I'm not sure what to think about that. If they moved to another project, they just gone silent. Did it outperform as well in the bull run? They got out. I don't know. All right, guys, that is all we got for today. Super excited about to see what's going to happen with my short here. So maybe we get stopped out. Maybe we'll get an epic win. We'll find out about that. Maybe tomorrow I'll make TJ wear the shirt with my face on it. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.
Might wear it for baseball.